Hey guys, welcome back. Want to talk to you today about wormwood in more detail. I've mentioned that before, um, and the uses and benefits of that, but I want to go into more in depth about that and why I think I want people to have knowledge of it. So, most people who know anything about wormwood, the first thing they think about is you use it to treat parasites, which it is a really good, parasite. It has other benefits. I'm going to have to code some of it. I'm going to also put more things that I can write and not say in the description, along with a article about the big C, because I'm going to talk about that. I recommend checking that out. Okay, so with this wormwood that I'm talking, using it for these type of purposes, it's the sweet wormwood, which is Artemisia annua. I'm going to write that down for you also. There's two different types that you can use, and you can use it fresh or dried. I recommend using it dried. I'm going to go into some warnings at the end of this and explain why that is. And you can do it in tinctures, teas, capsules, like an infused oil. I do what's best for you and do your own research and things like that. Would say go with teas. And with that, it is a bitter. And I talk about different bitters. Usually when you have a bitter, okay, it falls in this category of what the uses and benefits and risk are. So it's best to take that if you're using it for certain treatments, and I'm going to go over, it's best if you can get that down plain. If you cannot, because of the way it tastes, you can add some peppermint, to it, or a dab of honey, things like that. But I'm going to go into more details and warnings about that. So, like I said, parasites, that's number one. Now, with parasites, that is intestinal parasites, different types of worms, pinworms, tapeworms, roundworms, anything of that sort, plus blood parasites. So, this is a big one, I think, and how things may get, things that they're doing. I've talked about certain bio things how they spread different things is through mosquitoes and different things like that. So malaria, different things like that. This works good for that. Now, this is a big one that people use to treat for a very, very long time, is malaria and Lyme. And it's because of that blood parasite that comes with those works well. So anything like gut stuff, people who have Crohn's disease, GI issues, IBS, acid reflux, GERD, helps balance your gut flora, because usually if your gut flora is messed up, it may have to do something with like candida, parasites, different things like that, because it is, anti-parasitic, antifungal, antimicrobial. So it helps all that. And I, kind of skimmed over the big C with this. There is a study that's well known, in this about that. I would go read that, and I'll go into and I can't on here, but I will put in descriptions which ones that is best for. And so I just want people to have that information. Now, it does have a flavonoid, quercetin, naturally in it. We've talked about numerous times I've talked about the benefit of that. So, it is in there naturally. Now, as far as warnings, I give warnings and always read my disclaimer. Do your own research, talk to your doctor, your pharmacist. If you're on certain medications, be safe. Okay, let's be safe about things. But if you are allergic to anything in the daisy family, you're going to want to be careful. And of course, I always say anything new you haven't had is do a skin patch test first. And then if you, steep do like a little tea. And even if you just put that on your mouth or your lips and just see, and then wait. And if you start feeling anything, just, avoid it. Don't do it. Now, this is never meant for a daily use or long-term use. I would not use this up to a month, even. I just would not. If you have a certain ailment you're trying to treat, you can use that for a short period of time. This isn't something like, I'm just going to have a cup of wormwood tea every day. You don't do that, and I'll explain why, because it can be toxic. And That's why I say, I my personal opinion, it's safest to take it in the dried form, because there's an oil on there, thurgone, that is what can cause issues. Well, when you dry that, there's hardly any of that in there, because when there's certain things other throughout herbal stuff, it's safest to only take it dried because it gets those oils out. So this is one, in my opinion, I do not recommend fresh. Can you? Yes, but be safe. So that thurgone is what can cause the issues. Do not take it if you're pregnant. If you're breastfeeding, that could be very dangerous. And I talked about the skin patch test. If you've never had it, if you have, or anyone has epilepsy or any kind of seizure disorders, do not take it. I would just avoid that. If you have certain kidney diseases, I would be careful on that. And I do not recommend it for children. There's other things that can be used for these type of things as well. I don't recommend it. And if you're going to do like a tea, again, I would do dried, and make sure you identify. Again, I will put which type, because there's two different types, is safest in there. Do half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of dried. That's what I recommend. In a cup, if you have like a little coffee cup, teacup size amount, boil in water, steep it 10 minutes and get it down. This isn't a enjoyable tea. Like I'm just sitting and having a cup of tea. It has uses for temporary use. And sometimes, things are bitter and gross, but if you have an ailment that needs to be treated naturally, then you just get it down. That's my take. That's, like that. I'm just like, it has its benefits. If you don't have any adverse reactions, you grin and bear it, and you just get it down. That's what it is. So, like I said, it's better to take it alone if you can. If you can't bear it, set some peppermint or, herbal peppermint, honey or something in there. But it's one with a lot that, because I talked about when the C illness was going around a lot, this would kind of pair it up as a natural thing for a eye medicine that was hard to get, that you could get it like Tractor Supply, or you could get it and then people were getting in trouble for getting it. It had those same type of benefit uses for that, and being, they all, if anything else comes up that same is circulating, that this is one of them you can use, like the mosquito-borne stuff, Lyme stuff. I talked about bio stuff and how things spread. This is one I would recommend. Have knowledge, get it ahead of time, buy it already dried, grow it yourself, dry it, and it's something I would have on hand for those reasons. What could be coming. I'm just prepper, be prepared, have it on hand, know how to use it safely, and what its uses are. So I hope it helps you guys. Everyone stay well, God bless, and I will see you next time.